All information contained in this podcast is general in nature and does not consider your individual circumstances. You should consider the appropriateness of this information with regards to your individual objectives, financial situation, and needs. Welcome to Sharing More Than the Sheets, a podcast to help you and your partner make better financial and lifestyle decisions so that you can both focus on the things that you love. I'm your host, Michael Khouri, financial planner, green thumb, husband, and just dad. Advice is just about people getting richer and getting higher returns. Advice will actually cost me more than the value I'll get out of it. Advice is only for those that are rich or those that have really complex situations. I can do this myself. I don't actually need financial advice. These are 5 of the terms that I actually hear a lot over the years from people that I talk to. And I even hear them sometimes from people when I've actually first met them and they've come to actually seek advice, and they tell me straight off the bat what their concerns are and why they think they may not actually need advice. And the conversation normally starts off like this: hey, so-and-so said that I should probably come and see you. I don't really think I need it, but I thought I'd come just to have a chat. And it's always so interesting to see after 20 minutes or even half an hour of talking how that person's perceptions appear to change straight away, and the opinion that they have on financial advice. So today what I wanted to talk about is, what is financial advice really, what the benefits are of financial advice, and do you actually need it? So starting off, I wanted to cite I've got some research papers in front of me that I wanted to talk about today, and I sort of want to start off initially with the question that people sort of ask, and the question anyone should ask, when paying for anything is it worth it? Do I actually need it? And I'll just start by saying that there are many benefits to advice that don't actually seem obvious straight away. So just to start off with some statistics, Fidelity have a report that they brought out last year in 2020 that says that and their findings were that 65.7% of Australians say that they do worry about money, at least monthly, and about 23% of Australians worry about it daily. 37% say that financial issues have affected their physical health, and 52% say that financial issues have affected their mental health. And unsurprisingly, they also led to relationship issues, with almost half of Australians saying that financial issues have affected how they get along with family and friends, and less than 1 in 4 think that they would be financially stable and able to support themselves and their dependents if their relationship or marriage ended tomorrow. Money is definitely a big part of everyone's life, and I just want to pause for a moment and sort of just reflect to why I actually got into financial advice myself. So I'm one of the very few advisors out there that will actually really just straight up tell people to their faces that money is not everything. The money is good, and money is it's the way life works, and it's what we need in life, right? Having money, but it's not everything. And in a way, to be honest with you, I actually hate money. I became a financial advisor because I want to help people control money so that it doesn't control them. I don't want, personally, and most people would agree with this, that I don't want money to be an issue in my life. I want to be able to do things later on in my life with my family, and I want to be able to live a comfortable lifestyle. Not many people actually want to be filthy rich. Very few. Most people are very content with what they have, or they just want a little bit more and want to be able to sustain that, or they just want the choice. And when I talk to clients every day, I talk to them about giving them the choice. Giving them the choice to do the things that they want to do. Even when it comes to retirement, some people might say they don't want to retire ever. Okay, that's fine. You probably should never retire. But at the end of the day, it's about giving someone the choice to retire. They might not be able to work anymore when they get to a certain point of their lives due to their health, maybe due to the workforce. Maybe they might just start hating their job or their employer or whatever it may be. So it's about giving someone the choice, because I'd rather give somebody the choice to retire than leave them with no choice but to keep working, because that's the last thing anybody wants to do, especially when they've worked hard their whole lives essentially to get to where they are. So clearly money is a big part of everyone's lives, and this is why obviously I have a job, and it keeps the changing environment around legislation and tax more than ever highlights the need to make sure that people don't just ignore their financial lives, essentially. Now, I want to point to another research paper by IOOF, again in 2020, and I want to mention a few points here. And what I want to say is when it comes to financial advice, there are two different benefits. There are the tangible benefits and there are the intangible benefits. Okay, so the tangible benefits are those that people can see, those that are obvious, they're the figures, that's what's in black and white, and the intangible is everything else, basically. And this research paper actually said that 90% of their advised clients, so essentially both research papers interviewed people that were advised and those that weren't advised, and 90% of the advised clients said that accessing financial advice has left them in a better position financially, and 89% of them reported receiving advice has allowed them to live their desired lifestyle. And a lot of it comes down to the type of things that we help people with. So as a financial advisor, we help people provide clarity around their goals and progression towards them. We help them achieve their financial goals, help them plan for a more comfortable retirement. We help them achieve their personal goals that they want to work towards, not just their financial. And we inspire them to work towards their goals and reaching them, because a lot of the time, some people have a goal, but they sort of don't know what to do, or they don't normally have that motivation to get there. So while you think financial advisors are all about numbers, and yes, that's a big part of what we do, a lot of it is even just having that discussion, having that chat, especially when there's a couple. When there's a couple, there's nothing more powerful than having a third party, an outsider, someone that's not emotionally vested into their situation, looking into their situation and talking to them. I'll never tell anyone what to do, but I'll always highlight things. If I see there's a need for something to change, I'll mention it. If essentially I put myself in their shoes and I think, what would I want someone to tell me and my wife, or what would I do if I was in their situation? And this is so powerful, what I just said, putting myself in their situation, because when we are making our own financial decisions, sometimes these decisions are manipulated, or they are essentially, we're very biased in the way we make our decisions, because sometimes we'll do something that we're comfortable doing, or something that we know about, or something that we've done before. But sometimes there could be some strategies or some ideas that maybe some people have thought of, but they just haven't done because 10 years ago someone at a barbecue told them it was a bad idea. Or maybe there are some things that some people have heard of, but they don't really know enough about them to actually go and pursue them or to try them. So, and even personally speaking, sometimes I'll think of making a decision. One example is buying a car, which I'll explain in a second. But sometimes I'll think of making a financial decision, but I'll stop for a second and think, hold on a second. What would I advise my clients to do? And it's happened quite a few times. One recent example is I was buying a car. So we need a second car for me, for driving around, for work essentially. And I was looking at cars, and I was looking at some really nice cars. I love my cars. That's one of my weaknesses. And I was looking at this car, and I researched it, found out exactly what I wanted, looked at the specs. I even found out most likely who I was going to get it from, everything. And I was so excited, right? And one morning I literally just had this moment, and I was thinking, hold on a second, what would I tell one of my own clients to do? And as a result of that thought, just for that 1 second, I ended up finding another car which was literally half the price, and ended up buying it the next morning. So if it wasn't for that one moment of me asking myself that question, I could have potentially made a decision. May not have been a bad decision, but I would have made a decision that wasn't as financially beneficial. And most people wouldn't have that thought, obviously. And that is sort of where it helps to have that financial advisor there. It does help being in a relationship, because not always, but normally, if one person's going to make a decision, you've got the other person saying, what are you doing? So there's a bit more accountability there. But still, there is the benefit of having someone there, even literally just having that chat, or even just asking the question. These podcasts have been brought to you by Better Financial Planning Australia. To book a free 15-minute phone chat, visit betterfinancialplanning.com.au. So first I want to talk about the tangible benefits of financial advice. And based on the research, the tangible benefits that we're seeing was helping people most people said that financial advice helped them get the most out of their situation. It helped avoid pitfalls, so making mistakes. It left them in a better financial position. And by the way, this is 93%, 91%, and 90% of respondents that said this. 87% said that it helped them secure protection against the unforeseen. I can only assume that was through things like life insurance and having that protection, or even looking at their investments and making sure their investments are invested appropriately to their risk profiles. And 87% said that tangibly they were financially better off. And a lot of this can be with, as I said, whether it's higher savings, whether it's saving in fees in their super, could be better returns, could be just better budgeting, and less debt. So financially speaking, and also having life insurance, which you can't really put a price on because no one knows what's around the corner. So these are the financial, I guess, the tangible benefits that most people will normally see when it comes to advice. And I can't forget saving money on tax as well, and essentially having more money, right? We're talking money here. So they're the tangible benefits. What am I paying? What am I getting? Now, just to talk about the intangible benefits, and on that note, just to let you know, personally speaking, and everybody will probably have their own figure, but I personally feel that of all of the benefits of financial advice, I personally feel that only 20 or 30% of those benefits are actually tangible. It's the intangible benefits that people may not actually realize financial advice can help them achieve. And one massive one is financial well-being. So IWF's report said that 88% of advised clients said that it allowed them to be free from financial worries and stresses. The other part is 96% said that it saved them time and hassle planning and managing their financial affairs. So you've got time right there, saving time. 95% said that they've got greater peace of mind financially, so being able to sleep at night. 92% said that they've got greater control of their financial situation. And 90% said that they've got greater confidence in making financial decisions. So if you think about that, like, again, how do you put a figure on that? How do you put a dollar amount on these benefits? And for me, this was a massive one. 1 in 2 advised clients cited direct benefits to their mental health from receiving financial advice. And 2 in 5 cited benefits to their family life. So in the top 4 intangible benefits from receiving advice were improved mental health, better family life, better social life, and improved physical health. And as I said, like it's literally, I'm sure someone's done it, and I have seen something recently about this, but it's almost impossible to put a dollar figure on that. And a lot of people need to realize that these benefits, like I've had clients where literally telling them to change nothing and to keep doing what they're doing was worth paying for financial advice. Just giving them that peace of mind, because you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes you could be making decisions financially and going along your way, working every day, doing what you can. And then 20 years later, you think, oh man, probably shouldn't have done that, and by then it's too late. Well, it's not always too late. There's always options and there's always ways of, trying to get back on track as much as possible. But essentially, if 20 years before that point, there was more strategy around things were being done or advice was sought, then it would have made life a lot easier. Now, does every single person that walks through my door need financial advice? I would say to some, probably not. But the whole purpose of having an honest chat with the financial advisor is to work out, do they need advice, and in what areas do they need advice? And the third and one most important part for me is, am I the right person to give that advice? Again, there are some clients which financially actually do really well without advice at all. But I would definitely say that is the minority. I'd probably say it's 10% of all people that I've ever seen. And even those people would still need advice. Not need, but advice would benefit them, because at least they would be advised and told that they are on the right track. Or, hey, listen, you're doing everything really well, but look, this is just the thing that I would tweak if I was you. So, as I said, you don't know what you don't know. And what one needs to think about isn't what the cost of advice is, but what's the cost of not getting advice. And I hope today I've highlighted some of those points. And as I said, if you're sitting down with an advisor and you can have that honest discussion, I mean, with me, when I talk to clients, within the first hour, it's normally very obvious to both of us whether financial advice is going to be of benefit. Personally, I'm very honest with clients. I just say it straight up because I'd rather set a right expectation to begin with. And I'm sure most advisors are like that. But it's also about following your gut and knowing these statistics, knowing the benefits of advice, not just the financial parts, so that you can make the right decisions and, be better off. My financial planning practice is called Better Financial Planning because when I thought of the name, I sat down and I thought, okay, I actually, first of all, I started talking to a personal trainer friend of mine that I know, Joe. I'll give you a shout out, and I'm pretty sure is still doing personal training. But we sat down and we looked at I asked him, I said, what do you do for your clients, as a personal trainer? And he just said all this stuff, and I just wrote everything down. I wrote down, I think, about 200 words. And then I went away and worked out, okay, what of these things do I think is the most, which of these words is the most appropriate to what I do every day? And the word better is the one that I ended up settling with. So simple as it sounds, as financial advisors, we help people do better. We help them feel better. We help them make better financial decisions. And as I said, it's not just the tangible, but it's the intangible benefits. So next time you're thinking, do I really need advice? Maybe you've been listening to these podcasts for a while and you're thinking, okay, hold on a second. Yeah, well, everything Michael's saying is pretty cool, but I'm pretty happy where I am at the moment. All I can say is just have the chat, reach out, have the 15-minute chat to me on the phone, and I'll be able to give you a pretty good idea as to how I can potentially help you, or any advisor, not just me. My main concern is that you seek financial advice, not that you just seek it with me, because you could be listening anywhere in the country and you may not like me, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, the whole point is to have that discussion and talk and think of the benefits, and not just and ignore the myths. There's a lot of myths out there. As I said, people think that advice is just for people that are rich. Yeah, that's fine, but it's also not. Most advisors actually prefer to work with those that aren't rich. We help them, because we get our kick out of helping people improve and do better. There's the other myth I mentioned of the advice costing more than the value that you'll get. As I said, I've just explained so many points and given you examples where people that received advice have seen the value. The other part is, advice is just for those that are older and about to retire. It's like, not really, because, again, personally, I love working with all types of clients, but I get a massive kick out of helping those that are my age, those that are setting up their lives, those that want to manage money better, those that want to build a future, those that want to look back in 30 years and think, yes, I love what I've done. I'm so happy with what I've done. I'm financially comfortable. And to those that think I can do this myself, I don't need advice. All I can say is you have to listen to one of my earlier episodes. Off the top of my head, I can't think of its name right now, but to be quite honest, it's probably one of my most favorite episodes. I give an example where I tried to do something myself, and it didn't really work out too well. The episode's called The Perils of DIY. So have a listen to it. You can do it yourself. You probably can, but you probably can't, So again, please touch base with any financial advisor, have that chat, and help you work out whether financial advice is right for you. Don't make that decision yourself without being educated and without looking into it, so that you and your family can have the best potential future possible, financially and emotionally. Thanks for joining us on Sharing More Than the Sheets. Please make sure you subscribe to be updated with future episode releases, and feel free to share this episode with any friends or family that you think it might benefit. Please visit us at sharingmorethanthesheets.com.au to submit questions or requests for future podcast topics. These podcasts have been brought to you by Better Financial Planning Australia. To book a 15-minute phone chat, visit betterfinancialplanning.com.au.